Another great way to do networking it's well known, but it's not as well known as Facebook and Twitter, is getting on Pinterest. Now, I love Pinterest because I'm a really visual person. This is the Pinterest account for the Indie Film Academy. Sorry to keep using that as an example, but you'll see I've got all these different boards that have things that I'm interested in. So let's go, for example, to filmmakers. Everything in here is kind of related to filmmaking. I have a few things that are just kind of personal things, like the Dachshund channel. But for the most part, I've got walls that would be interesting for filmmakers to follow. Now in Pinterest, I'm sure most of you already know this, but the idea is that you start creating all of these different boards, and then you pin things to them. You can pin videos or articles or pictures or whatever, but they're all related to that board. So let's say, for example, I want to go into filmmakers on filmmaking. This has 75 pins in it, so it would be worth it for somebody to follow it, because they would say to themselves, oh, well, this guy has got, 75 pins. I know people who have like 1,000 pins in something, or this one, I have 155 in screenwriting, or actually 508 here in film festivals and events. Now, this is a shared board, which means that I can post on this board with other people, which is another good way to get your name out there. But let's say, for example, I just want to click on filmmakers on filmmaking. So I'll click on that, and let's see where it goes. Now, one of the reasons I highly recommend Pinterest for anything that has to do with Photoshop or graphic design is specifically because it is a graphic, it's a very visual medium. So you can put your work on here. If you start building followers, then whoever follows you will see everything that you put up. So, the first thing you do is to try and you can follow people, and then you can start pinning stuff onto your boards. It's like any social media. It starts to grow and starts to grow. And let's say, for example, on this one, I have 189 followers, which isn't a huge amount, but all of those people will see everything that I pin onto this board. So you'll see I've got stuff from TED Talks. I've got interview with Terry Gilliam. I've got some other, Martin Scorsese and whatever. And interspersed in here, you'll see these little quotes. Now, these quotes are things that I created, and they're just quotes taken from filmmakers, but they get shared like crazy. Now, these have not, but in the past, I've had that. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like Twitter. You want to have the things that you pin be shared. So you can create, if you are going to do, once again, we'll go back to ebooks. If you can create a article or a visual infographic that demonstrates something about ebook design, or demonstrates something that you think people will find interesting, and you pin it, and that thing goes kind of somewhat viral on Pinterest, all those people can see what's where that came from, okay? So let's say, for example, on this, I have a Hitchcock quote here. I'm going to click on that. Now, this has been pinned 3 times. I've got some that have been pinned 100 times. I know guys who have created infographics that have been pinned like 1,000,000 times. And one of the nice things about these is you can put information on your pins. So let me click on that. It'll come up. Wait, did I do something? No, it's cool. When you click on this, it actually takes you to my website. So, okay, I didn't even know that. Here's my website. So, this goes with the whole theme of you just want to filter, you want to funnel everything to go to your website. Now, when you go to my website, if it's the first time you've ever been there, a pop-up will come up, and it will allow you to sign up for the newsletter, which then I have, I'm building my email list. And as we said before, building your email list is the key thing. They can also click on subscribe, but now they've been to my website, and that's more exposure. So let's just go back to Pinterest for a second. When you pin something, let's say, for example, let's say this isn't mine and it's just somebody else's pin. When I pin it, I'm going to click pin, and this is going to come up. Now, one trick that you can use in order to get more traffic and more exposure, on almost every single thing you want to pin on your wall, it allows you to go here and edit the information that's under the picture. So you can, I mean, I wouldn't put too much, and always make sure that you put the original information, that it shows where that picture came from, because that's, just kind of a good policy, and people get annoyed if you put your information on their picture. But you can also add your information at the bottom. So you can put, like, for example, at IndieFilm ACDMY. You can add, your website, and then everybody who retweet or pins the pin that you put up, that information will be there. And that just helps. I mean, I'm not sure how much it helps for search engines or whatever, but it's good to get your website on as many different things as you can. So, the key for Pinterest, again, is just start creating walls that you find interesting. I mean, I'm really interested in everything that I pin on here. I actually like Pinterest better than Facebook or Twitter as far as your ability to find interesting articles and whatever. But get on Pinterest and try to start building a following, and that will also get people to have an awareness of who you are. And that's one of the key things that you're working on in social media is, not only having a dialogue with other people, but making people aware of who you are.